just knew that I loved it. It was an emotional reaction for me to start taking guitar lessons at age 6. Somehow you can't plan those things, but I heard the music and something happened and I wanted a piece of that.
It's almost like, two of you come from different backgrounds.
Even in Africa, that's the music that I grew up listening to. That music was not me coming to the U.S. That music was not something totally strange to me.
I totally understand, because blues is the tradition of African music.
Yeah, and all that comes together.
Welcome to Icon. Good to see you here. You had one concert last night here at Blue Note Beijing. The question is, how did this happen? You two paired together this night. What was that?
It was very unique, I know for me, over the last 10 years, I've been bringing special projects to Japan because I've been there so many times. The first time I played in Japan was 1974 with the Crusaders. So for the last 10 years, I've been involved in special projects for my Japanese audience, for sure. And it was suggested by the Blue Note that, how about Larry Carlton with Richard Bona? We had never met.
Not before this tour.
No, not
first
before
time
this tour.
working together.
It was a great
First
idea.
But I know Larry, to be honest. I grew up listening to Crusaders and Larry himself. And just to be able to be called to come and getting a chance to perform with somebody that I admire and getting to know the person also. He's a wonderful person beside of being a great musician too. So, and it's a pretty good thing. And I was actually pretty happy. I wasn't surprised, but I was happy because when I heard it's with Larry Carlton, I never had a chance to play with Larry.
So Larry, what would be the jazz style you would call the music you're going to bring to the audience here?
Well, it's a mixture of blues and jazz for sure. Because Richard and I had not played together before, I picked 3 musicians to be in the rhythm section that have played with me a number of times. So it would be very easy for Richard to integrate as the bass player into a very solid rhythm section. So we're doing quite a few of my tunes, but the highlight for me in the show, we all leave the stage and Richard does his solo thing, and it's magical. Honestly, we just sit off stage melting. I'm a huge fan, man. I'm a huge fan.
But he took the chance first, and he grew up listening to your music. Many of your Chinese fans are still wondering, two of you were born and raised in Cameroon, you in California, South California. So it's almost like, two of you come from different backgrounds. It's almost like before you met, your worlds were two totally different worlds.
At the same time, not really.
Not really?
No, because like I say, as a kid, I grew up listening to that mouvance, I could call, of Weather Report, of them, of Yellow Jacket, or just I Wanna Herbie Hancock. Yeah, even in Africa, that's the music that I grew up listening to, as I grew up in Africa too. So as that music was not me coming to the U.S., that music was not something totally strange to me.
I totally understand, because blues is the tradition of African music.
Yeah, and all that comes together at the end of the day. And you get to learn, I always say, people that taught me the most are people that are different than me. So I was trying to tell people embracing the difference is embracing tolerance.
Yeah.
Because, where I grew up, the person, if I'm not saying people that grew up with me had nothing to teach me, but we speak the same language, we eat the same way, we do everything the same all the time.
They fall into the same
I'm not interested too much of that. I'm interested in people in China, India, and because, even just eating. I take a very simple move. When we eat in Africa, we all wash hands and we all eat on a big
Round table.
On the same big plate. If I went to China, the Chinese guy would tell me, no, I'm going to teach you how to eat with chopsticks.
Chopsticks. I'm trying to figure out, because there is one Chinese proverb saying, we might come from different ways, but we end up in the same destination. 殊途同归, that's a Chinese saying. Basically, when I put you together, it's almost like that proverb came to my mind almost instantly. Just look at the two musicians. They come from, I mean, to me, different backgrounds, but somehow they are now here performing on the same stage.
Now, if you close your eyes, you don't know us. If you close your eyes, blindfold, and we play music, will you be able to tell us where we're from?
No. So that's not important. I get it. I know the point. That's not important. But I mean, the story itself, it's, when I have to open my eyes sometimes. It's still intriguing, right? It's still intriguing. But so the question to both of you started very early your career, musical career, but how come it's, as a 4-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid, how did you know, yeah, this is something I wanted to do?
I just knew that I loved it. It was an emotional reaction for me to start taking guitar lessons at age 6 and becoming somewhat proficient by the time I was 14 years old. I heard jazz on the radio and I had an emotional reaction to it.
The connection.
Somehow, you can't plan those things, but I heard the music and something happened and I wanted a piece of that.
You wanted to do that. You wanted to play that music too.
I wanted to incorporate what I was hearing, the emotion I was feeling, I wanted to find on my guitar. It was inspired by that jazz music.
I knew it was jazz.
Oh yeah. Yeah, in LA there was one jazz station at the time. And man, when I heard certain cuts, like I say, I had an emotional reaction as a teenager to the music.
And Richard, you knew it was jazz too?
When I first started, I just grew up with musicians, so I was
music.
Yeah, my mother, my grandfather, I was just surrounded by musicians, so I had no choice.
That's the only thing you were taught to do, right? Just play music on stage.
I was born, that's okay, this is what you guys are doing, then I started to play.
Yeah.
And jazz music came later, because, we had no radio where I was born. So until I went to the city, and then a French guy came to me, and he told me, wow, you play all these traditional instruments really well, but I'm building a jazz club. And too bad you don't play jazz, because I will hire you. So, and I'm like, what is jazz? This guy, just hire me doing what I'm doing. You think I'm good, but you're telling me too bad I don't play jazz. So he invited me to, so I asked him, at the end I asked him, but how much are you going to pay me to play jazz?
Yeah.
And he told me, how much you getting paid to play in church here? And I told him I get paid $1 every week. He said, I will give you $20 if you could play jazz.
Yeah,
so I came to jazz. Oh, you know what? I came to jazz for economical reason, to be honest. I told him this. I don't care if jazz is a military music. We're going to play. So we went to his place, and he told me, choose one LP. Back then, it was all LPs. I was 14 years old. So I picked one LP out of 400, 500 LPs, and it was Portrait of Tracy of Jaco Pastorius.
By chance.
By chance.
Wow. So
from that day, I heard Donnelly played by Charlie, Donnelly, Charlie Parker played by Jack on the bass, and Donald Ice on percussion. And I played that tape, I won't tell you how many times, and I knew something, like you said, it's emotion. You don't know, I never played bass before. I never, just at that moment right there, somebody or I don't know, a spirit spoke to me right there.
Well,
I became a bass player.
Tribute to that French guy. Thank you for paying this guy that $20.
And he paid it.
What a story. So the difference somehow it's, $1 or $20, and that could make a great musician like himself, like yourself, right? So, but Larry, once you found yourself the interest in jazz, you did go to a school to learn music, right? In a formal way.
I did go to college as a music major, but basically from age 14 on, I was self-taught. I was learning from records. I'm glad I went to college and learned the correct how to write
The basics.
how to write in the style of Bach, and no parallel fifths, never double the third in a major chord, all the rules that I wouldn't have been exposed to as a working guitar player. But I was turning down gigs to stay in college, so I was glad when I finished because I could work more. Yeah.
To earn extra $20.
Exactly.
Well, there is inflation, could be more expensive in there, right, in those days. Yeah. But what about you? I mean, Richard, did you go to any school at all?
Any form of school?
No.
None. None.
So it's
Not a day.
all self-taught.
All self-taught.
But you were doing the right thing.
I don't know.
basically. I mean, judging by the response from people around you.
I don't know. I was just doing it.
So long as they kept paying you $20, it's all right.
What I did, I take any tape and just put it there, and I have to say God blessed me with wonderful ears, so I could play anything I hear. I could play anything I hear. I could sing. So that's how I learned my
It's all your ears.
yeah, just
That's a natural gift.
That's a gift.
yeah. I didn't learn how to do that, to be honest. It's just you give me a line, I could find all these notes from day one.
So what can I say?
No, really, I never went
No, you were
to any
underpaid.
from
$20 is
multiply it by 5 now. Let's go see that French guy again.
But how come this possible? Basically, you listen to something and then you can just replay it yourself using your own instrument.
I don't know.
It's a process of growing. It's like I sometimes think of it as like being an artist, which I'm not. But a painter, first you learn to draw stick figures.
Yeah.
Then pretty soon you're seeing more intricate. It's a process to get to where you could hear all of those things by listening maybe to simpler things, finding it, and you just grow and grow, and he grew really fast.
It's like when I built my first balafon. Balafon is like our marimba in Africa. I was 5 years old. I saw guys playing balafon, so I made my own balafon. But the day I had a chance to go play in the church, I actually tuned, unconsciously, I tuned my balafon chromatically. My logic told me to kind of tune it like that. And I knew nothing about.
But I mean, from your story, I just wonder about this question. So is a musician, a great jazz musician, is it born or educated or trained, Larry?
It's hard to explain why at age 4 there was an acoustic guitar at my grandmother's house, and I was fascinated with it. My parents said I was just fascinated. So they told me at age 6, when you can hold it, you can take lessons. That's the part of the person that's just there. You know, you can't teach that. Then from there, having that desire and a natural aptitude, of course, that showed up after taking lessons, the passion just keeps growing because the aptitude makes you grow quicker than if you didn't have the aptitude. So it's always rewarding me. Yes, oh, I can do this, I can do, oh, stay excited, and you grow real fast because you're passionate.
What about you, Richard?
You don't teach that, because I got 2 boys, you know. I see my son, my older son. The guitars are there. The keyboards are there. Everything is there. He doesn't touch those. He's not.
Give him a bicycle.
But my youngest son, every day, I don't have to push him. It's just a natural thing. You don't know why. He's attracted. Just he wakes up every morning, he wants to play.
So the passion is born.
It's born, I think. Yeah, that interest.
But after that, you still need practice, you still need training.
It's not called practice. You see, it's like I said, it's like it's a spiritual food for musicians to play. It's not practice for us.
It's not.
Practice sounds more like a work to me, like job. I need to go, you know. No, I just play. And excellence comes from repetition. You want to be good at doing something, just do it every day. And if you're doing it by passion, no doubt.
No hard work. What I'm saying is not traveling itself, you know, in planes, going to airports, but if you go to a city, if you have the chance to wander around on the streets, to meet up with local people, probably even to get a little taste of the local music, is that a part work or fun?
That's actually fun. I like to meet people. Like yesterday, I went out just to hang at the mall.
In Beijing.
In Beijing, yeah. And
What happened?
what happened?
What?
I don't know. I just go trying to hook up with, you know, get a hookup with people, trying to pretend I speak Chinese and stuff. They're like,
He's a fun guy to be around. He really is. So I can imagine. I wasn't with
I'm not
him.
going to do it here, but I do my Chinese accent, and I'm not saying anything. I just go and do it, and people think they think I say something. They say, "What are you saying?"
So you just said something you thought, or you're pretending to speak in the way that the Chinese spoken, but it's not.
Yeah.
So basically, you just created something to make them believe this is.
Yeah, and I tell them, you know, do you speak Chinese? And they're like, and they get all sort of start doubting. They're like, oh man, maybe this guy speak Mandarin, but I don't.
Sorry, your accent is too bad.
I'm like, your accent is bad, man. You should correct that. And I'm like, are you from China?
So, Larry, what about you? And when you travel around the world, do you also get the chance to meet up with maybe local musicians?
Not very often, and a lot of it is by choice.
Right.
Normal procedure is play a gig on one night, get up, fly to the next gig, play. You see the hotel.
Yeah.
You get up and you fall.
Right.
You know, leave again.
Right.
Sometimes we don't have time to eat, much
Most of the
less
time.
go out and just chill with the locals. You know.
Yeah, that's the work part. That's the part you don't like. But you know, on the time you spend on stage, playing, interacting with your audience, that's the part you like.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Here is another cliche question. I mean, just looking at your own career, when or what period or what event would you consider as your highlights of your career, Larry?
Well, there have been many, for sure. But in the early 70s, I was 23 years old in 1971.
Okay.
I was becoming a session musician in Los Angeles, and I did a session on a Friday night for the folk singer Donovan from England, and the keyboard player on that session was Joe Sample of the Crusaders. And we had a moment before the session started musically. He played something, I played something, and then we did the session. Monday morning my phone rang, and it was the Crusaders office saying, can you come record with the Crusaders for 2 weeks? They're in the studio now. I, at 14, 15 years old, jammed in my bedroom to Crusader record, the Jazz Crusaders. What a thrill to be with my heroes. And the first album was a gold album. My sound was part of the Crusaders. One of the highlights of my career.
Wow. Wow. The Crusaders experience those years. What about you, Richard?
My highlight will probably be, you know, when the record company told me your biggest selling albums, where I sell the most albums, is South Korea. First of all, my highlight kind of surprised me too. I'm like, out of South Korea? I said, yeah. And I played in Jarasum last time, there were 40,000 people.
Wow.
40,000 people.
Wow.
You totally didn't expect that.
No, to be honest. So I went there, I'm like, okay, all right.
If you can make an instrument out of bicycle, you can do anything.
When the promoter told me that, I was like, he said, man, we have 40,000 people coming. I'm like, yeah, right. You mean 4,000? And when we went to the sound check, I saw what we were playing. I'm like, hold on. And then the night came, and I still could not believe it.
Yeah, I mean, numbers in East Asia, don't doubt that. Yeah, I thought you you didn't mention, neither of you mentioned Grammy Awards or any other awards. Both of you won that award. So how important are these awards like to you, Larry? You've been nominated for like numerous times and won many.
Yes. I've been very fortunate. 19 nominations and 4 Grammy Awards. And just the other night, we were talking backstage with some other folks about how important is a Grammy.
Yeah.
And my take on that is, for that year that you win the Grammy, you're elevated to the promoters a little bit more out of the pack. Because if they're going to book concerts, so-and-so won a Grammy this year, let's put a show together. But then it settles back. The next year, another group of guys win the Grammy. So it does. It has benefits, but maybe short-term and then long-term benefits it's always on your bio. Grammy Award winner.
Grammy Award winner.
Yeah, to me, really, it's a good thing, but my focus is not
On awards.
on those, because I've been independent for so many years, just doing it on my own. My whole focus is not, but it's good. You know, when you get nominated, I got 3 nominations, and that definitely raised a little bit your status, if I could say. So it's a good thing, but my own thing, I don't think of a Grammy every day when I go on stage on tour.
No.
I just go and do my thing.
Yeah, that's enjoyment in itself.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, going there, I was actually kind of, last time I went to the Grammy, you know, they were, oh, you have to come and all this. I'm not that kind of person. I don't like to dress up good, like, you know what I'm saying? This is it. This is the best you could get from me. So
Comfortable.
yeah.
So again, out of curiosity, where did you keep all the 4 trophies then? You forgot?
No, I'm going to be very honest with you. They're in a box downstairs in 2 boxes. They're not presented in my home, any place special. It's just me. I live on a lake. I like to go fishing. I don't have a shrine to what I've been blessed with. They're in a box downstairs.
What about you?
My Grammy is locked somewhere. Same thing. It's actually it's actually in the storage, to be honest.
Okay.
I know the Grammy people won't like that.
I know the Grammy people are going to be so upset about this, you know.
But I have also the Melody Award in China. Remember?
Yeah.
Those are your Grammys.
Okay.
I have last year. I have one.
You keep that.
Yeah.
You're only saying that because you're in China.
No, I won one, really.
Yeah.
With performing as a guest on a Chinese artist album. Right. So they sent me the Melody Award. It's long like that. I got one.
So you do these days come to perform in China more, a lot, and like, you know, you were here less than a year ago. Right. You also come back.
Yeah, and more, don't forget, China is, the more and more is opening too. There are more festivals happening. Look, the Blue Note is opening another one in Shanghai soon.
They're celebrating the 3rd anniversary.
Okay. So you see, there are many opportunities for artists also to come and perform. So it's not only the status of artists, also that China is opening more and giving more places for artists to perform.
You know what? I mean, many of your Chinese fans are trying to learn from you guys. So what will be the message to those, you know, those young generation music learners? Because their age, their time is different from yours. But somehow, I mean, music is still the same. It's developing, but the love for music is the same. So what would you like to say to them?
Well, I try to encourage them when I do master class, and as young musicians come in, enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process.
Yes, it should be music first, not fame, not more girlfriends, all the things that can get in the way. But if your motivation is pure and it's for the music, you're going to enjoy the process. Even if you never become a professional musician, you're a musician because you're doing what you love. So enjoy the process.
I kind of look at my whole thing, also how I happened to become a musician, you know. What I did was just playing all the time. So I'll tell them, you know what, if this is what you really want to do, then just do it all the times. And don't worry about anything.
One more thing. We have some questions from your fans here. One for each. Hi, I'm Tian Tian, a songwriter and guitarist in Beijing. I want to ask Larry, what habit or what sports do you do to keep you energetic to create music and perform?
Well, I have to laugh because I'll preface it by saying my mother will be 97 years old this December, fairly healthy. Then I'm blessed with good genes. So if I look energetic, it's because I'm just blessed with good genes. I have no exercise program at all, but I'm a happy guy, and I think that helps a lot. You know, I've been blessed to play my guitar my whole life. I've never done any other kind of job. So I'm just blessed with good genes, and I have a good attitude, I think, about life, and it serves me well.
So the message is no sports is needed. No sports, just a good gene is the part of it. Anyway, just kidding. Yeah. Okay, here is the next one. I want to ask Richard. You're from Cameroon, but in your music it incorporates elements from all over the world. When you create or compose, how do you incorporate everything? Is it an instinct, or you have your own method?
Instinct.
I don't think it's my own method. I'm just somebody who, like I said in the beginning, I love embracing the difference. And I love focusing on things that I don't understand. That's just my natural instinct, I think. As a kid already, you know, first time I saw a parachute, I was 6 years old. I saw all of a sudden our national military army training, and I saw the parachute from far away from my little tiny village. I'd never seen people jumping off a plane. Then, in my head, somehow I started to think. And I told all my friends, I know what they're doing. So I need to prove them. And I was building a parachute. And I tried it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did it work? Oh.
No, I broke my back. But I jumped out of a tree trying to show these other kids how this parachute's working. Yeah. So I've been a kid that always trying to, even if I don't understand, I would try to push the button to understand.
Okay.
That happened also with the studio. When I moved to New York, when I got signed by Columbia, I said, I just want to learn how to run myself, to record myself, to mix myself. So most of my record now, I mix my record, I record myself too. So all those things are, I think, it's just a natural desire or instinct that, you know, curiosity. Yeah. That pushes me always, just because, you know, some people, they go, just because they don't understand something, right away they turn the page right away. But when I don't understand, that's where I get attracted, actually.
So that's you.
I'm very, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy you didn't see your rocket launching when you were little.
That's right.
I'll be trying to. So I always tell the kids, you know what, just go out there and be yourself.
Okay.
If this is what you love to do, do it all the time and be yourself.
Be yourself, enjoy the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Cheers.